that the agency has summoned the Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal himself. But they say that the investigation is a follow-up one. The probe has led to Arvind Kejriwal being questioned because several of the accused in this case have named him during the course of their interrogation. It is alleged that a bureaucrat of the Excise Department in Delhi during the interrogation of this scam has come out and given a statement to the CBI that Sisodia had called him to Arvind Kejriwal's residence. As per the statement of the bureaucrat, Sisodia verbally asked him to prepare a draft to increase the commission for liquor traders. Of course, all this is in the realm of allegations, needs to be proven in a court of law. But these are statements that have been made by the accused, some of whom have turned a prover as well in this particular case. It is being claimed that Sameer Mahendru had told the investigating agency that Arvind Kejriwal made a video call on FaceTime from Vijay Nair's phone. He told them that Vijay Nair is like my child. He trusts them, is what he had said. Sameer Mahendru then claimed that crores of rupees were given in this case on the orders of Arvind Kejriwal, most of which the allegation is that were used by the Aam Aadmi Party in the recently held Goa elections. Now, this is not the only link or the only mention of Arvind Kejriwal as far as the accused in this particular case go. Another accused, Amit Arora, also spoke about Arvind Kejriwal and Vijay Nair and their connection during his questioning. Now, back in December, Amit Arora's remand note read something like this, and I'm going to take you through the excerpts of what that note read. It said that a draft report was given in March 2021 when C. Arvind, the bureaucrat in question, was called to Arvind Kejriwal's residence. Vijay Nair, who orchestrated the entire scam, is a close associate of Arvind Kejriwal. That is what the remand note read. That's not what I am saying. Vijay Nair is not an ordinary worker of the Aam Aadmi Party. He is a close aide of Arvind Kejriwal. That's the connection that was made. Vijay Nair functions from the camp office of Arvind Kejriwal was another claim that was made. Now remember, Vijay Nair is someone who is under arrest and is under investigation of the agencies as far as the excise policy goes. So come Sunday, Arvind Kejriwal is going to be appearing before the CBI for his summoning. The Aam Aadmi Party has claimed this is nothing but witch hunt. The BJP, on the other hand, says that this is a due process of law. Why question it? That's our big debate tonight.
जो भी हुआ है, जो भी डीलिंग हुई है, वो अरविंद केजरीवाल के घर पर हुई, अरविंद केजरीवाल के कहने पर हुई। तो इस बात का जवाब तो अरविंद केजरीवाल को देना पड़ेगा।
दिल्ली के मुख्यमंत्री के खिलाफ, अरविंद जी के खिलाफ मोदी जी ने यह साजिश रचना शुरू कर दिया।
Before I open this up to our panelists joining us on this debate, let me get across a word from my colleague Ashish Mahershi. He tracks both the ED and the CBI. Let's get a sense of what really the case is and why these summons have been sent to Arvind Kejriwal. Ashish, do tell us what the investigation so far has revealed, which is why the probe has now reached Arvind Kejriwal's doorstep.
So there are two areas of concern for Arvind Kejriwal. The first area of concern is about a video call which was made by Vijay Nair to Sameer Mahendru, who is the owner of Indo Spirits. And we all know that Indo Spirits was a blacklisted company. And despite that, the Aam Aadmi Party government decided to give liquor license to Indo Spirits. Now, interestingly, he says that, in that video call, Arvind Kejriwal had allegedly told Sameer Mahendru that he's my boy, that's Vijay Nair. And interestingly, Vijay Nair is not a small man or an ordinary man. He was staying in the house of Kailash Gehlot, who is supposed to be the minister in the Aam Aadmi government in Delhi. Now, somebody who is basically a private individual who was basically handling the social media policy was basically not only social media and other media, but he was staying in the house of Kailash Gehlot. This is one area of concern. The second area of concern is about the policy. Now, the policy was twisted and turned. We all know that policy was basically twisted when the South lobby individuals, people who basically benefited out of the entire policy, they were allegedly staying in a hotel in Oberoi Maiden. Now, interestingly, this policy was basically of 36 pages. People staying in the Oberoi Maiden, they used the business center of the hotel. And interestingly, 36 pages of photocopies were done by them. This is on record. That is what the details the CBI and the ED have. And there is a big question that is it a mere coincidence that 36 pages of policy was also equal to the 36 pages of policy or the document that the photocopy was done by these individuals. Now, interestingly, C. Arvind, who was the secretary of Manish Sisodia, he has on record spoken before CBI and ED and had said that there was no mention about increase in commission during the GOM meeting. Not only this, there was no discussion on the wholesale trade being given in private hands. So there were two changes which were done. One was giving the wholesale trade in private hands, and secondly, handing over the percentage of profit or commission from 6% to 12%. Now, the allegation by the CBI and the ED is that this increase has happened only because the 6% was supposed to be commission, which was equivalent to around 100 crore rupees. Now, interestingly, the CBI and ED during their investigation, they have been able to find out a certain money trail. Now, this money trail, if you see, is about money leading to Goa elections. They have been able to find out that huge amount of cash was distributed to basically workers of Aam Aadmi Party.
Sorry to interrupt you there, Ashish. We'll come back to you. But the Aam Aadmi Party's spokesperson and a minister in Delhi, Atishi, is now addressing a news conference. Let's cut across.
और प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी को ये कहना चाहती हूं कि आम आदमी पार्टी, हमारे नेता अरविंद केजरीवाल, हमारे पार्टी का एक एक विधायक, एक एक कार्यकर्ता आपकी धमकियों से डरने वाला नहीं है। आम आदमी पार्टी का जन्म एक भ्रष्टाचार विरोधी आंदोलन से हुआ है। हमारा जन्म ही इस देश के भ्रष्टाचार के खिलाफ लड़ने के लिए हुआ है। आप चाहे हमें सीबीआई का नोटिस दो, आप चाहे हमें ईडी का नोटिस दो, आप चाहे हमें जेल में डाल दो, आप चाहे हमें फांसी पे टांग दो, लेकिन हम देश की जनता के लिए लड़ते रहेंगे। हम भ्रष्टाचार के खिलाफ लड़ते रहेंगे और आखिरी दम तक, जब तक आम आदमी पार्टी के एक एक नेता में, एक एक कार्यकर्ता में आखिरी सांस तक भ्रष्टाचार के खिलाफ लड़ने का दम है, भ्रष्टाचार के खिलाफ लड़ने का जिगरा है, हम आपकी ईडी और सीबीआई की धमकियों से डरने वाले नहीं हैं। धन्यवाद।
This is intimidation and we're not going to be scared. That's the Aam Aadmi Party's view. And I want to put across this question to the spokesperson of the BJP who joins us on this broadcast, Shazia Ilmi. Ravi Srivastava, political analyst, and Satyendra Singh, former deputy director of the Enforcement Directorate, also with me. But Shazia Ilmi, the Aam Aadmi Party says that BJP ko Kejriwal phobia ho gaya, which is why you're using all your might to go after the Aam Aadmi Party. It started with Satyendra Jain, then Manish Sisodia, and now you're at Kejriwal's doorstep.
So this is what is expected of them, right? They have nothing else to say. Like they don't have answers. If they were to be asked, advice Delhi government being accused of favoring large distribution companies by stipulating conditions such as annual turnover of rupees 150 crores, and how was it a conscious decision of the group of ministers, which included Manish Sisodia, and now we'll know whether Arvind Kejriwal was there or not, to create a monopoly of large companies by eliminating small players. When it comes to all the testimonies that have been collected from Sameer Mahindra, Vijay Nair, as well as interception of phone calls and FaceTime calls with direct links with the CM, and as to what was the need to destroy the phones that were used at all the SIM cards the day the inquiry was ordered, and so many other reasons as to why the revenue did not go up when the consumption and sales went up, and why was our liquor lobby given favor over others, and there's so many. I mean, I can go on and on, but
Sure.
Clearly this is the information that they must have answers to. So instead of answering these very basic questions which everybody's asking there, and I'm sure ET is doing the same, they can just give those answers, right? Instead of going all over the country place and just say yes. And
Sure.
that
Why not respond to specifics then, Ravi Srivastava? Why claim witch hunt? Is that the only defense the Aam Aadmi Party has?
when you so completely taken
let
in
her
by
Yeah,
finish.
you've made.
Let her finish
and you
first.
have-
Shazia, you've made your point. I want to get in Ravi Srivastava.
Non-stop
When you-
monologue. If she finishes, then I'll speak.
Ravi Srivastava, I've put the question to you. You have the floor.
Yeah.
Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. Poonam, first of all, since Mr. Arvind Kejriwal in the Assembly of Delhi exposed thousands of crores of black money being invested by Mr. Modi in these crony capitalist companies and all exposes he made, since then it was very much expected. I think Sanjay Singh already has said in his press conference that he had already cautioned Arvind Kejriwal that this will come out. Now, I don't know what capacity he has been
Clearly,
called.
you don't have an
Is he
answer, right?
Hey, come
All
on,
the
yaar.
questions everybody-
Have you
ED is
finished
asking
them
you.
or not?
Shazia Almi, you had your time to
can
make
you
your
keep
point.
quiet?
I will come back to you for a
Or
rebuttal.
you are a victim of the verbal diarrhea?
I will. Ravi
Are you
Srivastava,
a
Ravi
victim of the
Srivastava, let's
verbal
be civil,
diarrhea?
please. Let's
I
be
think
Learn to
civil.
better
use
keep
better
quiet.
language because
Yeah, let's
You
be
belong
civil,
to
Ravi
a-
Srivastava.
you
Let's try
belong
and
to
do
a
it. Let's
corrupt
try and mind our
party
language.
and that
Shazia
is
Almi,
being
I also
exposed.
request you to please not speak over him. You had your time. Let him make his counter and then I will come back to you. Ravi Srivastava,
I
go
think
ahead.
she is in a very bad habit of talking these uncivilized things in between. You should better keep quiet. When your turn comes, you speak over. Now, now, first thing is that Poonam, I want to talk about this ED business. I think Sanjay Singh made a press conference for this. How they have bursted the eardrum of the Chandan Reddy, and it is all on record. He has filed a petition in the Hyderabad court. Then they are threatening his daughter. They're threatening his wife. I mean, this is the way of working by the so-called Premier Investigation Agency, the ED. And this is how they are extracting these statements from the people. And on the basis of that, they are saying that we are on that reference, we are calling Kejriwal.
इतना झूठ बोलेंगे.
Is he an accused? Come on, shut up.
But the
It's
CBI
on camera.
hasn't.
The
But
press conference is on
कितना झूठ
camera.
बोलेंगे
Ravi
भाई
You
साहब,
can't
Srivastava-
deny that.
बोलेंगे.
But Ravi Srivastava,
कितना
the
झूठ
CBI
बोलेंगे,
has
थोड़ी
said that
शर्म
he is
आएगी
not,
आपको भी.
they are just examining him because several of the accused, not one, several of the accused have spoken of Kejriwal and the alleged link and how Kejriwal was in the know. Then don't you think this is just the direction in which the probe would naturally go?
Poonam, that's a one person of statement against the other. It has to be proved.
Exactly why the questioning is happening. Isn't that how corroboration is done, to take both sides of the
Exactly my
story?
point.
No, it is not. Poonam, Mr. Maharishi was saying, I don't know all these things, going to Oberoi Maidens, making a video call, how these things people make a person a criminal or an accused.
I tell you, when money is taken and when policy is changed to make money, and that money is used for corruption and for propaganda in Goa by ill-begotten means, that in Indian law is considered corruption, sir. Maybe it hasn't dawned upon you, but this is plain, simple corruption.
None of
So
them
I
have got
think you can defend the corrupt of the Kattar Beiman party, but the fact is disgusting.
Hey,
It is disgusting that instead of answering questions,
guts to say that you are a
what
Kattar
was the
Imansar.
role of Vijay Nair
Guts to
and
say
Sameer
it.
Mahindra
Can you say
and
one
Ganesh
sentence
Arora
that you are
and
Kattar
Indus Spirit
Imandar?
and Parnam?
not.
You have no answers. You go on Adani, you go on Ambani.
You cannot say
You
it.
have no answers to give
Talk
for
about
yourself.
Mr. Adani,
Which
the
is
crony
why Mr.
capitalist.
Sisodia ji is in jail.
20,000 crores of money has been invested here by
Which
Mr.
is why
Modi.
poor
Adani
Sanjay Singh
companies.
had no answer to give.
It's all on record.
Victim
Sanjay
card,
will answer.
victim card.
You
क्या
answer.
हो रहा है
Everybody will
हमारे
answer.
साथ? भाई भ्रष्टाचार करोगे इतना
Janata
जबरदस्त
will answer you now.
जेल तो जाना
Janata
पड़ेगा.
will answer you now
जेल
in
तो जाना पड़ेगा
Karnataka.
भाई.
Okay,
इतना
Shazia
इतना-
Almi and Ravi Srivastava, let's take a breath. The political fight will continue, but I also want to get in the investigation aspect. I also want to get in the investigation aspect of it, which is why I want to get in the former Deputy Director of the Enforcement Directorate. Satyendra Singh ji, ये witch hunt है, agencies सरकार के behest पे ये सारा काम कर रही हैं. In this case, मोदी सरकार के behest पे.
पूनम जी, ये आरोप तो पहले से लग रहे हैं. जब भी किसी बड़े नेता को बुलाया जाता है तो ये आरोप लगा दिए जाते हैं, लेकिन ये सरासर गलत है. आप ये देखिए कि जब ये केस स्टार्ट हुआ था तब भी आरोप लगाए गए, सर्चेज हुई कि हमारे खिलाफ कुछ नहीं मिला है, आइए हमें गिरफ्तार कीजिए, आपके पास सबूत है. तो धीरे धीरे इन्वेस्टिगेशन आगे बढ़ा, एविडेंसेज आईओज ने कलेक्ट किए और उसके बाद गिरफ्तारियां हुई. फिर कहा गया कि गिरफ्तारियां गलत हुई हैं, लेकिन जो एविडेंस है वो कोर्ट ऑफ लॉ में रखे गए हैं. मजिस्ट्रेट ने उसको एग्जामिन किया है और उसके बाद उन्होंने उनको जमानत देने से मना कर दिया। इसका मतलब प्राइमा फेसाई इनके खिलाफ बहुत अच्छे एविडेंस इन्वेस्टिगेटिंग ऑफिसर्स ने कलेक्ट किए हैं कि इन्होंने भ्रष्टाचार किया है। तो ये कहना कि ये मोदी गवर्नमेंट के कहने से हो रहा है, विचंट हो रही है, तो ये गलत है। विचंट तो तब कही जाती जब डे 1 पे इनको पहले गिरफ्तार कर लिया जाता बिना इन्वेस्टिगेशन के, उसको विचंट कहते हैं। या तो मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा कि ये आरोप क्यों बार बार एजेंसी पे लगाए जा रहे हैं।
सत्येंद्र सिंह जी, आरोप ये लगाए जा रहे हैं क्योंकि उनका कहना है कि कोई तथ्य नहीं है अरविंद केजरीवाल को समन करने के लिए। ना उनको आप विटनेस के तौर पर बुला रहे हैं, ना उनको आप अक्यूज के तौर पर बुला रहे हैं। आपके पास क्या सबूत है कि आप अरविंद केजरीवाल को समन कर रहे हैं?
देखिए, जहां तक सबूत की बात है, सबूत तो जितना इन्वेस्टिगेशन अभी तक हुआ है उसमें कुछ एविडेंसेज सामने आए हैं, उन्हीं को वेरीफाई करने के लिए केजरीवाल जी को बुलाया गया है। अब यह है कि वो एक्यूज हैं, विटनेस हैं, नहीं हैं, ये सब तो इन्वेस्टिगेशन के बाद पता लगेगा ना। अभी से क्यों ये आरोप लगाया जा रहा है कि ये ऑफिसर जबरदस्ती
And Ravi Srivastava, that's the point that I was trying to make, that the CBI has said that they're not looking at him as an accused. But there have been testimonies that have been made that are part of court record now, in which Arvind Kejriwal has named.
CBI has to clarify in what capacity they are calling Mr. Kejriwal. As an accused, as a witness, as a supporter in the case, as an intervener, what capacity? No, they have not clarified. And Mr. Singh, who was talking on a very high pedestal that how ED conducts inquiry, does he know the Chandan Reddy's petition? Does he know that the medical report there that eardrums have been threatened? Does he know that his wife has been threatened? Does he know that his daughter has been told, how will you go to school? This is how you are extracting the statement from the people. This is your investigation.
फिर अगेन ये एलिगेशन है, सिर्फ एलिगेशन है, इसकी भी इन्वेस्टिगेशन होगी। कोर्ट, हमारे देश में जुडिशियल सिस्टम है, वो जांच करेंगे कि क्या उनका आरोप सही है। सिर्फ आरोप लगा देने से
I am not talking in the air. It's a petition in the court.
कोर्ट में कौन जजमेंट करेगा? एक मैंने किसी खिलाफ FIR करा दी तो उसकी जांच तो पुलिस करेगी ना, या उसके पहले फैसला कर लिया जाए?
क्या जांच कर रहे हैं आप?
तो मैं
आप जांच के नाम पे हैरेस कर रहे हैं लोगों को, जांच के नाम पे टॉर्चर कर रहे हैं, आप 3rd डिग्री दे रहे हैं उनको जांच के नाम पर। ये जांच है आपकी, हमारी इतनी बड़ी एजेंसी के लिए।
मैं ये कहना चाहूंगा, न तो मेरी व्यक्तिगत जानकारी में ये बात है, ना आपकी जानकारी में है। आप भी दूसरे के कहा हुआ बोल रहे हैं। यदि आपकी व्यक्तिगत जानकारी में है तो ये आरोप लगाते हुए कुछ अच्छा लगेगा, लेकिन क्योंकि ना आपकी व्यक्तिगत जानकारी में ना मेरी जानकारी में है, किसी ने आरोप लगाया है तो उसकी जांच।
सत्येंद्र सिंह जी, मैं एक सवाल आपसे पूछना चाहूंगी, बिकॉज आप एनफोर्समेंट डायरेक्टरेट के पार्ट रह चुके हैं। मैं आपसे पूछना चाहूंगी, जैसे रवि श्रीवास्तव कह रहे थे कि इस केस में सीबीआई को बताना होगा उन्होंने केजरीवाल को क्यों समन किया। क्या वो अप्रूवर है, क्या वो इंटरवीनर है, क्या वो अक्यूज्ड है, क्या वो विटनेस है? मैं आपसे जानना चाहती हूं, बाय लॉ डज द एजेंसी हैव टू मेंशन दैट व्हेन दे समन?
नहीं, कोई जरूरी नहीं है। कहीं भी ये नहीं लिखा हुआ है कि क्यों बुलाया जा रहा है, या ये मैंडेटरी है मेंशन करना, किसी को बुलाने से पहले बताना कि आप क्या हैं, क्यों आपको बुलाया जा रहा है। यदि ये होता तो ये कोर्ट किस लिए है हमारे यहाँ? कोर्ट सम्मन को रिक्वेस्ट कर देते और एजेंसी को डायरेक्शन देते कि जाइए आप पहले बताइए। इनके पास तो इतने बड़े बड़े लीगल जो हैंड हैं जो इनकी हेल्प कर रहे हैं, या ये जिनको इन्होंने हायर किया है, ये इतनी छोटी सी चीज है, क्या वो इनको नहीं बता पा रहे कि ये गलत बोल रहे हैं? कहीं भी लॉ में मैंडेटरी नहीं है कि ये बताया जाए कि आपको किस हैसियत से बुलाया जा रहा है।
And Ravi Srivastava, as far as the investigation against Manish Sisodia goes, even then we had the narrative that was said by the Aam Aadmi Party that this is nothing but vendetta and witch hunt. He was Kattar Imandar is what the Aam Aadmi Party had said. But it is the courts of this country that have denied him bail. Perhaps because they have found some credence in the case that the agency was trying to build. It's the same courts that you want relief from, isn't it?
Let the court take their own time. Nobody is in a hurry. Let them do it. Let them satisfy themselves that's a fit case for a bail. Let them see that in the supplementary charge sheet, 3rd, even then Manish Sisodia's name is not there. Even after raiding his house in an ancestral house, his house in Delhi, everywhere, they could not find even a rupee.
Arey, he's accused number 1, my dear friend. Where are you living?
But Shazia Almi is
Which
still
world
not
are you
being
living
charge
in? He's
sheeted.
accused number one.
But he's still not
CBI
been charge sheeted. There has been one charge sheet, two supplementary
Arey,
ones,
charge
and yet
sheet,
there
but
is
he's
no, which is
accused.
why the Aam Aadmi Party says that there isn't enough proof. Because you cannot charge sheet him.
Even as an anchor, you should know the basic facts that he's accused.
That's the
He's
allegation
accused
the Aam
number
Aadmi
one.
Party is making, ma'am. That's
And
not
let
what
me
I
come
am
in.
saying.
I want to, okay. So you are asking the questions, where are the facts? Now, these are the facts. Why was the commission increased from 2% to 12%? Why was there was a kickback of 6% collected? Why
It's
were
a fake-
blacklisted and manufacturing companies
fake
allowed
charge.
to come
It's
come
a
in?
fake charge, madam.
Why were
It's a fake
wholesale
charge.
given to private players, which was against the law?
These
Why
charges
did
are
the
fake.
old policy get
Charges are
reinstated
fake.
the minute it
Charges
became
are
policy?
fake.
So the
These are
question is not
concocted by you,
screaming and
all
shouting and
fabricated by you only.
he's a sweet anchor.
These charges
and
are
But
not
these
in any charge
charges,
sheet.
Ravi
the fact is, let me
Srivastava,
come in.
Ravi
Charges are
Srivastava,
not
you
in
say
any
these
charge
charges
sheet.
are fake.
Screaming and
These
wailing will
charges
not
are
change the
fake and
fact
are being
that
concocted
your
by the
party has
BJP either on this
indulged in
panel or as a
Charges
political
are
narrative.
charge sheet.
Okay,
Any.
Shazia Almi and Ravi Srivastava, please let me get a word in. Ravi Srivastava, you say that
I
these
spoke, you're
allegations.
not letting me speak. No,
These
no,
allegations.
no. You did not allow me to speak.
Shazia Almi, I heard
No,
the
no,
point
I
you
was
had to
asking
make.
very
You
basic
listed out.
questions
You
and he
listed
was
out.
hollering up and going insane. So I think you should let me finish. These are very basic questions that are being asked.
Sure.
They have to answer these questions about the commission, about the kickback, about the digital money trail, about what happened with Pernod and with the Indospirit. Why was a phone call made? What is the connection between Samir Mahindru, Manish Sisodia, and Vijay Nair? These are very basic questions. So it has nothing to do with, and they're trying to complicate it and sound very intelligent. That in what capacity is being called? You know, Manish Sisodia went to the extent of saying that I was called and they were trying to do Operation Lotus. CBI wanted
Poonam,
me to
you
join
want
the
to have a
BJP.
one-sided
So they
version
say
or you want
anything.
a response as
They
well?
say
Ravi
anything.
Srivastava,
I
I
know
gave
them
you your
very
time
well.
and I'll come back to you. There's
They
enough
are
time to go
fast
around
masters
on this
of telling
debate.
lies and trying to
Yeah, yeah.
confuse.
I will come to you.
And it's not working at all.
Sure. So now some points have been raised by the BJP. Ravi Srivastava, would you want to respond to those points? You say these
Absolutely.
allegations are fake and they're concocted by the BJP either on this debate or as a narrative as a whole. But why do
No,
you
these
say
are
that?
real questions. That's
Sure.
the policy,
Sure.
which is why the
Yes,
policy
Shazia Almi, I got your point. That's
was
exactly what I'm
revoked by
asking
them.
Ravi Srivastava to respond
It's
to.
not BJP's points. These are
Arey,
real
come on,
questions.
yaar,
There's nothing
you
to do with the
better keep quiet
BJP.
now.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough, Shazia Almi. These are questions that have been raised. Please answer them, Ravi Srivastava. Go ahead.
All these charges are fake. Let them show it in any charge sheet. Is it there? Show me. Or you keep on making
नहीं
yourself at your
चलेगा.
home.
इतने
and
देखिए
come on,
इतने भागने
and you
से चालाकी से काम नहीं
Shazia
on,
Almi,
चलेगा.
you made
Start
your point. Let
vomiting
him
on
have
the
his
channel.
word. I will come back to
These
you.
are made by you. Where are the charges? Show me.
क्यों चालाकी कर रहे हैं भाई साहब? लगातार आप बोल रहे थे मेरे बीच में, मैं भी
Yes,
बोलूंगी.
nothing.
आप क्यों बेवकूफ
लगातार आप
समझते
बोल रही
हैं?
हैं.
इतना बेवकूफ
आपको
कोई नहीं.
पता
Trying to make a
है,
fool
आप
out of
बोल रही है
us,
लगातार.
everybody.
Okay,
आप
let
चुप
me
हो
just
जाइए,
come in
आप
here. Let me
charges-
just come in here,
You
Ravi
just say
Srivastava, and let me ask you this. You say that these charges are fake because they have not been put on a charge sheet. Correct? Have I gotten that right? That there is no charge sheet against Manish Sisodia, right? Now the agency has 3 months before they file a charge sheet.
Let them do it. Let them come
February
out. No problem.
26th is when Manish Sisodia was arrested. So
Yeah,
so
let-
May
let it
26th is the deadline for the CBI to file that charge sheet. We're
Let it
still
come,
a
I
few weeks
debate.
away from then. If they still don't file a charge sheet and name Manish Sisodia, then you can say these charges are concocted because there is no mention of it. But why
No,
not
till
wait
such-
until then?
Till such time, I'll say that these charges are fake, concocted, and fabricated by the BJP only. These charges are not a part of any charge sheet as of now. When the charges are filed and the court approves them that these charges exist, then we will talk about it.
Sure.
Then the fact will come out. What
Sure,
they say,
but why
percentage
say that the
or
CBI doesn't
this
have any proof
commission.
against Manish Sisodia even before the probe is complete, even before their deadline to file a charge sheet is complete? That's what I'm trying to ask you.
No, that does not work in that way. You are trying to create a narrative that the person is corrupt. The investigation is going on. Let it complete, because you want to malign the image of a party. Like Mr. Modi has got all 20,000 crore black money invested with the crony Adani, and these people get baffled when they ask about it. जैसे बैल को लाल कपड़ा दिखा दिया हो, भाग रहे हैं वो डिबेट से, पार्लियामेंट में भाग रहे हैं डिबेट से. कहीं राहुल गांधी को नहीं बोलने दे रहे, अरविंद केजरीवाल को नहीं बोलने दे रहे, उसको उठा करके सीबीआई का संबंध थमा रहे हैं. कितना डरे हुए हैं. भाग
Ravi
रहे हैं पूरे
Srivastava,
देश
आप
से।
कह रहे हैं that a narrative is being built, but Shazia Ilmi, many
Yeah,
would say
basically,
that the narrative is being
Arvind
built by the
Kejriwal
Aam
is
Aadmi
the
Party.
CM of Delhi, is
Which
not
is
in
why
the
we saw,
parliament.
which is
Ravi
why when
Srivastava
Manish
ji, why
Sisodia
are you so
went in for
confused?
questioning also, we saw an entire rally and protest march that happened. There was slogans that were being raised. Many would say that was a narrative the Aam Aadmi Party was trying to build. It's not a narrative that the BJP or the agencies are trying to build. Shazia
अपने
Ilmi.
लीडर को
No,
सपोर्ट
no,
करना
no. First of all, let me
करना
correct.
नहीं है।
Let me correct Ravi Srivastava ji. Poor thing keeps getting corrected because either pretends not to know law. This is basic stuff anyway. So first of all, Kejriwal could not have even allowed or disallowed Modi ji to speak or not to speak because Kejriwal is not in the parliament. We're talking about Delhi Assembly and Arvind Kejriwal is CM
How
of
does
Delhi.
it make any
basically.
difference?
And
He's
then
a
about the
leader of the
parliament,
party.
why are you
He's a
changing the
leader of a
topic?
national
When
party,
I'm asking you
madam.
very specific
He's a
questions,
leader of
my
a
dear
national
friend.
party.
Why are you so scared? See, you're going on
National
talking.
party leader.
Till the
He's
anchor
not a
Ravi
asks for
Srivastava,
foreigner.
you
to
made
be
a point.
quiet.
Shazia Ilmi,
So Modi has
let
to
Shazia
respond.
Ilmi have her time, Ravi
Answer.
Srivastava.
Yes.
You made your
The
point.
nation will
My very
respond.
You made
So,
your point,
The
now let her
entire
respond.
population of the country
so
will
Mr.
respond.
Srivastava,
This
Mr.
does not
Srivastava,
help
what is the
anyone.
problem?
Nobody can understand what's happening on this debate. So can we please, for our audiences and for my viewers,
Can
not
I
do
speak,
this?
please? Can I come in,
Shazia
please, and
Ilmi, go
ask
ahead,
this man
please.
not to keep hollering?
When she
And-
does it,
and,
you don't
and
stop her.
I stopped her
somebody
as
is
well,
gonna-
Ravi Srivastava. I stopped her
So
as
I
well.
wanted to say
I've been
something.
trying to
It's
tell
very
both
basic.
of you all to be
Forget
civil.
about BJP,
Shazia
forget
Ilmi, go
about
ahead.
protests, forget about everybody. They're very simple questions. Why was a policy changed? And all the charges that are there of kickbacks, and not just kickbacks, of commission, the phone calls, destruction of evidence, and all of that. One. Now, after that, also, when the the investigation is going on, instead of answering these basic questions, which I'm sure the officers and intelligence is asking, and of course, which is merited because they are elected leaders, they have to answer. No, what happened to that money? Where did the kickbacks go? How was the money used? Especially when a digital money trail is there. So I don't know, instead of answering questions, you go all over the countryside. Modi ji, Ambani, Adani, and you go on and on. Why? Just answer the questions. Samir Mahindru, Vijay Nair, Manish Sisodia, WhatsApp, FaceTime phone call, destruction of evidence, and liquor money. Blacklisted companies, wholesalers
Puran, can I
becoming
respond
retailers.
now? Can I
Very
respond?
basic stuff. Why are you trying to confuse? Nobody's
Sure.
a fool. We know the case.
Sure. Ravi Srivastava, go ahead. Several allegations
See,
being made by the
They're not
agencies in this
allegations.
case, by the
These are
agencies in
all
this case,
They're
all
not
of
allegations.
which are under
They changed the policy
investigation,
and then they took it back.
all of
There
which
is
are
But
under
also-
allegation
investigation.
actually happened.
And if the Aam Aadmi Party says that we want to ensure that there is no corruption, then why not, for the greater good, let this investigation progress? The truth will be out. Isn't that what the Aam Aadmi Party also wants?
Now, as an anchor, you reply my one
No,
question.
they don't want that.
Did Aam Aadmi Party ever
They'll all go to
stop any
jail.
Shazia Ilmi, you
investigation?
had your time. The question
Did
was for
they-
Ravi Srivastava. Ravi Srivastava, go ahead.
Did they ever ask anybody to stop any investigation? It is happening. Who is stopping it?
Sure.
Who is worried? Who is afraid? Who is scared? Nobody. Do it. Keep on doing it. The whole world is seeing it. The 20 parties have gone to the president that how you are, by using the agencies, ED, CBI, income tax, NIA, everybody to harass people. This is written on record. Entire opposition is united today on this
And
particular
14
issue.
parties went to the Supreme Court also, but that petition wasn't
No,
even entertained by the Supreme
that's
Court.
wrong. Supreme Court said you bring out the specific cases. And now
Exactly.
specific
They said
cases-
you can't have
specific
a
cases-
preemptive
now
rule.
specific
You can't have a
cases will
preemptive
go.
norm for politicians.
Chandan Reddy's case will go up to Supreme Court now. You watch it.
Sure.
The ED
The
cannot
Supreme
go
Court said
scot-free.
individual cases can come to
ED
us, and those
cannot
individual
go
cases,
scot-free
like in the
now.
case of Satyendra Jain and Manish Sisodia, have been going to different courts. And in both those cases, bail has been denied by different courts of this country.
Right. Let that bail take time. No worries. Let the court take their own time. Ultimately, it will reach to the highest court. Ultimately, it will be seen that where are the evidences. The evidences have to be incontrovertible evidences to be proved. But what Mr. Modi is doing, the entire nation is asking questions today, and he's running
No,
away.
I don't think so.
He
I think the
doesn't want
nation is
people
very
to speak.
disgusted by you,
He is
Ravi
trying to
Srivastava ji,
gag
that
the
you are right
voice
now
of
sitting
people.
and
This
discussing
is exactly
people
the
who
same thing
came
happening.
on the basis
And this
of
kind
an
of
Ravi Srivastava,
psychophant
questions are being
movement,
raised on one side of the spectrum. Questions are being raised on the other side of the spectrum as well. You can't accuse the other party of running away while you don't answer the same questions either.
No, I'm not saying running away. What I'm saying is that nation is asking the question today. Entire opposition is asking the question
Who,
today.
according
And
to you, is the
Mr.
nation?
Modi is trying to silence every
Acha, have you
voice
seen the nation
which is
asking
coming against
questions?
him.
Where is this nation?
Is it a way? Is the
Has the nation
democracy?
told you in your
The
ear that
democracy
we are
is in
asking this
peril.
question? I mean, what do you speak?
Sure. Sure. So
You're a
questions
senior
are being
person. I mean,
raised, but
you
let's
need
come
some
back.
sense
Let's
of
come back
yourself.
to the question at
Sir,
hand, and I
आप
want to
खुद
get
की
in
बात समझ
Satyendra
पाते
Singh
हैं?
once again, and I
समझाइए
want him
क्या?
to have the
उसकी बात
last
खुद ही
word
नहीं
before
समझा
I
पाते
end this
आप।
debate.
या समझ पाते हैं?
As far
क्या
as the
बोलते रहते
political
हैं?
fight goes, as
अनाप
far as the
शनाप
narrative
कुछ भी।
between the Aam
अरे
Aadmi
क्या
Party and the
बकवास कर
BJP
रही
goes,
हो
we've
आप?
all
आपको
heard
कुछ
that.
पता भी है क्या?
Shazi, I'll get Ravi
भ्रष्टाचारी-
Srivastava. I have very little time on
भ्रष्टाचारी
this debate. I need to get in Mr. Singh as well. I request you to please, you've had your time. Satyendra Singh ji,
जी
ईडी की जांच हो रही है, सीबीआई
बताइए
की जांच हो रही है एक्साइज पॉलिसी में। ये एक्साइज पॉलिसी विड्रॉ कर चुके हैं दिल्ली की सरकार।
जी
ऐसे काफी तथ्य हैं इसमें जिसमें प्रूफ जमा करने की जरूरत है, जिसमें कोरॉबरेशन की जरूरत है। उस प्रक्रिया के लिए अगर जिन लोगों के नाम इसमें आए हैं उन लोगों को समन किया जाए, उन लोगों को क्वेश्चनिंग के लिए बुलाया जाए, तो क्या ये गलत है?
जी नहीं, यही इन्वेस्टिगेशन का तरीका है। कोई भी एजेंसी हो, ईडी नहीं, सीबीआई नहीं, आप साधारण एक एफआईआर दर्ज कराते हैं कि मेरी यहाँ एक्सीडेंट हो गया था गाड़ी का और 2 गाड़ियां थी, ये 3 लोग देख रहे थे वहां। तो अब जो देख रहे थे, आपने उनका नाम सामने है तो उनको बुलाएंगे तो वो ये कहें कि साहब हमें क्यों बुला रहे हैं? ये तो सरासर गलत है। हमें जबरदस्ती बुलाया जा रहा है, टक्कर तो उन दोनों की हुई थी। इन्वेस्टिगेशन का एक तरीका है और ये कोई ये नहीं है कि भारत की एजेंसियां ही ऐसे करती हैं। किसी भी क्राइम का इन्वेस्टिगेशन है पूरी दुनिया में एक ही तरीके से होता है, एविडेंसेस कलेक्ट करना और उनको कोरोबोरेट करना, और वही यहाँ किया जा रहा है
जी। So it's due
और
process
जहां
of law.
तक ये बात है कि भी किसी के इशारे पे एजेंसी काम करती है, देखिए मैंने जो मेरे सर्विस रही है वो पुरानी सरकारों में भी रही है, इसमें भी रही है, और जहां तक मेरा अपना व्यक्तिगत तजुर्बा है, कभी भी कोई दबाव राजनीतिक तौर पे ऊपर से नहीं आता है
जी।
ये मेरा तजुर्बा है।
So the investigation is going on. It is due process of law under which summons have been issued to Arvind Kejriwal. He is going to be appearing before the CBI on Sunday as confirmed by the Aam Aadmi Party. Whether or not these allegations are mere allegations or are they fact, that is something that the agency will have to probe and prove in the court of law. For now, we leave it at that. I thank you all for joining us here on this broadcast with your perspective. We are shifting focus now to the crisis in Karnataka. It's less than a month to go for the assembly elections in the state, and the incumbent BJP seems to be staring at one crisis after another. Rebellion, resignations, and even retirement calls by some. 2 candidate lists of the BJP are out and there's suspense on 12 more seats. But what is not shrouded in mystery is the disgruntlement in some of the party leaders. Laxman Savad is one of them. A former Deputy Chief Minister and someone who is believed to be a close associate of B.S. Yediyurappa has now decided to dump the party after he was denied a ticket from Athani in the Belgavi district. What is even more of a setback perhaps to the BJP is the fact that even before Savadi resigned as an MLC, he decided to jump ship to the Congress party. And that too in all its glory when he openly met DK Shivkumar and Siddaramaiah along with other Congress leaders this morning at Siddaramaiah's residence. Now, unfortunately for the BJP, he is not the only one. There are several others that have resigned too, at least 2 more that are threatening to do so, and along with them, a horde of supporters will leave is also what they claim. The optics may not look too good for the BJP, but the real question is how much of an electoral bearing it will have come polling day. Are these desertions and rebellions going to be advantage Congress? That's debate number 2 on News Epicenter.
दोस्ती हमेशा पॉलिटिक्स में ज़्यादा दिन नहीं रहता। पार्टी का सिद्धांत पहले क्या था वो सिद्धांत अभी नहीं है।
ಒಂದೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ರಾಜಕೀಯ ಸನ್ನಿವೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ತವೆ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅವ್ರ ರಾಜಕೀಯ ಭವಿಷ್ಯ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಡಿದೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಪಕ್ಷದ ಕೆಲಸ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
Mohan Vishwa, spokesperson of Karnataka Congress, joining us on this broadcast. Spokesperson of the Congress, Bhavya Narasimhamurthy, will also be joining us shortly. JDS spokesperson Pratap Kanakal will also be with us. But I want to get in my first question to get a perspective from senior journalist B.S. Arun. And B.S. Arun, how big a blow are these desertions to the BJP? Is it just mere optics or is it going to have electoral bearing?
Well, it will certainly have electoral bearing. It's not mere optics, I feel strongly, because the fact that there are so many who have been denied tickets. For example, 18 sitting MLAs have been denied tickets. 3 or 4 MLCs have already resigned because they wanted tickets, and several others, former MLAs, former MLCs, they have also quit the party or have threatened to do so. Some have already joined, like Savadi in Congress. And not just that, Savadi is bringing a few more. I think one MLA from North Belgaum, he's quitting and joining the Congress. Also, another party member from Kagwad. So I think in Belgaum district, if you take, for example, because that is the news today because of Savadi. Savadi belongs to this Belgaum district, which is in Bombay, Karnataka area. It's sort of heart of that region. And there, Savadi being a Lingayat leader, I think is a force to reckon with, because he was he's a 3-time MLA and got defeated last time, and he's now an MLC, but resigned his post today. He still had 5 years to go, but still he thought, since the party has not given him ticket, it's fit for him to resign MLC's post and jump ship and join Congress.
Yes.
I think he is very sure of his win. Otherwise, he wouldn't have done this. What is interesting here is a bit of history. Belgaum district is also home to the famous Jarkiholi brothers, the powerful family of Jarkiholi. And one Ramesh Jarkiholi, who was in Congress, he led a group of 17 MLAs and joined Congress, and that led to, joined BJP, and that led to the collapse of the coalition government headed by Kumaraswamy. And D.K. Shivakumar had been nursing that grievance against this Jarkiholi, and this, he thought, now is a fit case for him to take revenge against the Congress, against the BJP. So he brought in Savadi, and Savadi is now, contesting as a Congress candidate against the person, Mahesh Kumthali in Athani. Incidentally, Mahesh was also one of those 17 MLAs who quit and joined the BJP and became a minister.
And they were instrumental in bringing down that Congress JDS government and electing B.S. Yediyurappa to the Chief Minister's chair back then. Which is why I want to get in the BJP as well on this. Mohan Vishwa, the BJP may now say that it's unfortunate that he has left, but the party has given him all and he really should have been grateful instead of dumping the party for the Congress. But he does have clout, especially in the region, especially in Belagavi. Can you deny that?
See, one thing we should understand, like as you said, in 2018 when he lost the election also, the BJP made him the Deputy Chief Minister, later has made as an MLC. And recent also in 2022 has been made as an MLC. Still it is due till 2028. So we just can't understand, when the party gives that kind of importance to a leader from a Lingayat community, I don't know why he is going to join a sinking ship Congress, where nobody believes in Congress development today in the state of Karnataka. And also, if would have stick to ideology, and he is from a Lingayat background, and he is joining a party, which wanted to divide the Lingayat community in 2018, and also recently, which opposed giving, reservation to Lingayat under 2D. When you look at these kind of things, the BJP, BJP is like a banyan tree. There are a lot of people who have taken shelter in that. In that, Saudi is also one amongst them. When the party has given him so many things, we just can't understand, what decision he has taken. That too, going for a sinking ship like Congress.
But is it going to be advantage Congress in Belagavi? That district has 18 seats.
No, nothing. Nothing sort like that will affect, because BJP is a cadre-based party. Our Karyakartas are our leaders. They were the one who worked 24 hours, 65 days a week. So please do understand, if Saudi goes, it doesn't mean that entire Karyakartas from Belgavi will go. No, never. It will never happen like that. So see, and also we do conducted a survey in each and every constituency basis. That only the vote has been, the ticket has been given to all the candidates. That you can see this time we have 52 candidates who are totally of new faces. When you're doing these kind of changes, that too, the kind of importance was given to Saudi from past 5 years.
Sure.
You should have respected the party's decision, and at least he should have waited, because he's a sitting MLC. Probably, if the government would have been come, he would have been given a good position in the government also. So
Sure.
he has taken a decision in a
So he
hurry,
was just
and he's going
impatient
to a
and all he
sinking
wanted
ship,
was
and it will
that
never
ticket, which
affect
is
our
why
party.
he's jumped
Please to
to the
understand.
Congress party. Bhavya Narasimhamurthy, if you've heard what the BJP was saying, not only have they downplayed this entire threat as it's being claimed, they say it's no threat at all, the fact that Savadi and many others are leaving. They also then go on to say, or many experts also believe, that Laxman Savadi is not necessarily an advantage for the Congress party. He could also be a liability. He does face the man who was instrumental in bringing down the Congress JDS government as far as at least his seat of Athani is concerned.
At least 5 sitting MLAs and MLCs who have joined Congress recently from BJP. So there is a trend in BJP right now. We all know through surveys and everywhere, and there is zero development from the current BJP government and all these scams to their credit. They all know this time Congress is going to come to power with full majority. And this is a result of that. The leaders want to join Congress because of maybe they saw all these communal agendas and they didn't agree with it, where the state was going. And coming to the economic state of Karnataka, we all know the unemployment rate is very high.
Sure.
And the
so it's the failures of the BJP while leaders are deserting the party. Mohan Mishra?
Since the BJP
See,
came
I
to
don't
power.
know why the Congress spokesperson is lying bluntly in a national TV
Karnataka,
channel. Congress
because
government,
of
which is
which
in
the leaders
Rajasthan,
want
has
to
the
join
highest
hands with
unemployment
Congress,
rate in the
because
hold
they also
on, Mr. Spokesperson, please hold on.
Bhavya
Congress
Narasimhamurthy, you gave
government
some
in
facts, let
Rajasthan
the
has the
BJP respond.
highest unemployment rate in entire India. Please do understand, it has 24.5%, whereas Karnataka has the lowest, hardly 1.5%. That's the kind of development our state have done. People do believe. And I want to make one more point very clear over here is, which party will have more demand? The party which is about to come to power, that party will have more demand. People know that, the BJP will come to the power. That's why we have demand in almost all 224 constituencies to get into an MLA election. That's why, we are having all these situations. They know that we are going to come to power. That's why we have a lot of, the people who wants to become an MLA. So that's the result of this. So as far as Saudi is concerned, like as I said, party has given him everything. And I don't know why he's going to a sinking ship called Congress, which is having nothing in Karnataka, and not only in Karnataka, you take across India also.
Sure, point
Even in
taken.
Rajasthan, it is started sinking already.
Bhavya, it's not advantage or it's not epiphany for these BJP rebels. It's just opportunism. And that opportunism is not going to help the Congress, is what many believe.
The demand here is definitely for the party which is going to come to power, and that is Congress party. If he had the confidence that BJP would come to power, maybe he would have believed that he will get another MLC seat there. He knows BJP is not going to come to power. He knows they didn't give him the ticket. The only and the best option he had was to switch to Congress party, and now all his followers, all the BJP supporters and the voters will definitely be with the Congress.
Sure.
And definitely, this is not opportunism. Of course, he considers himself a very good leader. He's definitely been the deputy chief minister, one of the most potential leaders of BJP. If he is switching a party, that shows what failure the current BJP government is. And that they don't see any hope.
You say it's not opportunism on his part, but I want to ask you, is it
that's
opportunism?
The main reason. I heard the spokesperson said he's really confused why he doesn't even understand why Mr. Laxman Savad switched to Congress party. But this is the reason.
Sure.
Main reason
you say
is
it's
Congress
not.
is going
Sure.
to come
You
to
say
power
it's not
with full
opportunism, but
majority.
I want to ask you, Bhavya. Many would say this is opportunism on the Congress's part as well, because let me tell you why. Because Laxman Savadi was someone who was caught in the Pawngate controversy, and at that time, Congress leaders, including Siddaramaiah, had said, we are ashamed that we have such people with us in the assembly. And today, we have DK Shiv Kumar talking about Laxman Savadi's stature and what he brings to the Congress party. Bhavya? Bhavya, if you could hear me. We'll try and reconnect that line with the Congress's spokesperson. But B.S. Arun, I want to get you in and I want to ask you about this flip-flop of a stand that the Congress has taken as far as B.S. Savadi is concerned. Back then, They said that we are ashamed that such a man shares the assembly floor with us. He should be sacked immediately, is what Siddaramaiah had said inside the assembly. Today, he stands next to Laxman Savad, and DKS is talking about the stature and the support that Laxman Savad deserves will be only gotten in the Congress party.
See, these are all politics, and this is how politics plays out in different parties. We have seen Home Minister Amit Shah calling the Meghalaya government as corrupt, but then joining that same government. So all these things happen in politics. They see who is the winning candidate, and then accommodate him in the party. So this. But BJP has to do, I think, a lot of work here, because it is the ruling party, and it wants to come back to power by proving history wrong, because history says that for the last 40 years government has not been repeated in Karnataka. Yes. So this is a sort of a challenge before the BJP, and Congress want to disprove that, and that is the reason why it wants to ensure that the winning candidates, as far as possible, will come to the Congress, and then ensure the victory in different parts of the state. And what has come as a boon for the Congress is there are so many unsatisfied people, like, as I mentioned, 18 MLAs and so many others in the party who have not been given tickets. And certainly Congress would be looking out for for the dissatisfied
and the fact that there are 12 more seats that are still undecided also perhaps is weighing heavy on the minds of the leadership of the BJP, because they cannot have this trend of rebellion, of resignations to continue. But Pratap Kanagal, I want to get you in, and I want to ask you, while this happens between the Congress and the BJP, while both sides claim they have the edge, where does that leave the JDS in the state?
See, we have our own, we have already announced, most probably also we announced on 46 states. See, it's totally, that comes on 35 candidates we have already announced, and we are depending on them, and we're working on them. It doesn't, there are a few candidates who want to switch over, and if at all it works out, definitely we give an option. But definitely it is, and there are the infighting in Congress as well as BJP is definitely going to help JDS, and JDS is going to take advantage of that. That is one thing. The second thing is BJP is I always claim that they are a party of Karyakartas.
Excuse me.
But this time what they've done is they give importance to the people who change the shape, to topple the government from JDS and Congress.
Sure.
And they are given the importance to them instead of giving it to the party members. They are designated their own party people. So that will affect them a lot.
Sure. But Pratap Kanagal, is the JDS going to be fighting for survival, or are we looking at a situation where they could be the kingmakers? There is a very close call that many experts believe is what will happen come election day. Because like B.S. Arun was also pointing out, Karnataka is known to have a revolving door system of governance. Each party is thrown out after 5 years and the next one comes in, and that's the cyclical pattern that continues. In that case, if there is a close contest between the Congress and the BJP, is the JDS going to be in a position to play the kingmaker?
See, first of all, we are aiming to get our own majority mark. That's the reason we are doing Pancharatna rallies and all those things. That is our main aim. If at all, in case if at all it's going to be hung elections, hung only results, then definitely we will give chance to Congress and BJP to form the government. Instead of doing backdoor, sending MLAs there and forming government, we will wait for that. Sure. Let them form the government. If at all it's hung assembly, and we will be in opposition.
So, B.S. Arun, I want to give you the last word. Misplaced confidence by all three parties, or is it on point?
Sorry, you have asked me?
Yes, B.S. Arun. Can you hear me, sir? Mr. Arun, if you could hear me, I was just asking you, all parties seem to be confident, even the JDS seems to be confident to not just play the kingmaker, but even play a bigger role as far as these elections go. I was asking you if this is misplaced confidence by all three parties involved, or is it on point?
No, as far as Congress and BJP are concerned, I think they're trying their best to ensure that they win the majority. As far as Janata Dal is concerned, yes, I mean, they can play a kingmaker role if the result ends in a hung assembly. But what reminds me of this current BJP's state of affairs today, as far as today is concerned, is the Himachal Pradesh experiment, where 21 MLAs were denied tickets out of 68, and the party ended up being the loser. I hope for the party that's the ruling party now won't end up in the same situation. Whereas Congress also has another problem, and that is to ensure that they get a higher vote percentage, because despite having a higher vote percentage last time, they lost out. Despite having 38% to 36% of BJP, they won lesser number of seats compared to BJP. So twin challenges are on hand for the Congress to ensure more number of votes and more number of seats. Only that will make them
aside, it's all
victorious
about winnability, and it's all about electoral bearing that these developments will have. Unfortunately, I am running short of time. I thank you all for joining us here on this broadcast with your perspective. It's a wrap from my side here on News Epicenter, but I'm leaving you with visuals of Prime Minister Modi, who attended grand celebrations of Bihu in Guwahati just a short while ago.
Sided with the movement of Atik from Sabarmati jail.
Okay.
That led us to conclude that they were trying to create some incident. What kind of incident? That we are unaware of. But we had concluded from their movement that there was something fishy going on.
You must have seen what opposition leaders like Akhilesh Yadav have said. He's calling UP a den of fake encounters. There have been more than 100 plus encounters that have happened over the last few years. How do you respond to what the opposition is saying, that fake encounters have become a norm in Uttar Pradesh?
See, creating an incident is very different from what conclusion you are trying to draw. An incident can be created to put the police under pressure, to subvert the process of the law, to create an impression that the writ of the gang still runs. And if an incident of that kind would have occurred, it would not have been only these two people. The way they had acted on 24th of February, that has been seen by all of us, including you, in what way they can act, in the way they can kill a person who has security. The kind of furor they can create, the kind of fear psychosis they can create by their actions. So it could have been any of these motives.
All right. So Mr. Yash, my final question to you, again, there is data out today that since Mr. Yogi Adityanath came to power, there have been 183 criminals who've been killed in encounters such as what we saw today happen in Jhansi. The opposition is saying that this is not rule of law, this is extrajudicial killings, and this has become almost like the norm du jour in Uttar Pradesh. How do you respond to that? Why do these 183 criminals have to be eliminated in encounters as opposed to be produced in court and face a trial?
Every encounter has to go through a very strict legal process. Extreme, difficult scrutiny. There's a magisterial inquiry, a police inquiry, which is then vetted by the courts. Then the human rights commissions, they do their own scrutiny. And it is not easy, let me tell you, it's not at all easy to get away with breaking the law, even for us. We stay within the strict parameters of the law, and that is why the STF has existed for the last 25 years. No encounter has been proved to be fake. And you had seen the incident. Everybody had seen the incident and the gruesome nature of the incident. Yeah. These fellows had no intention of surrendering. So you can imagine that when the police finally corners them, they will not surrender. They are armed with sophisticated weapons. They are going to fire at us. This time their luck ran out, and they came second best.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. Amitabh Yash, thanks for joining us. He's the ADG of Uttar Pradesh STF, head of the team that led the operation today and killed Atiq Ahmed's son Asad Ahmed and his associate Ghulam. Let me now open this up because it's become political. The opposition leaders from Akhilesh Yadav to Asaduddin Owaisi are calling this a fake encounter. Mr. Owaisi has taken this one step further, saying that you haven't killed those who killed Junaid and Nisar, but you're only killing Muslim quote-unquote criminals. Let me go across to Aditi Singh of the BJP, Arvind Kumar Jain is former DGP of UP, Vivek Bansal, senior leader of the Congress, Abbas Haider, Samajwadi Party spokesperson. Aditi Singh, how do you respond to this charge? Let me start with what Asaduddin Owaisi said, that you haven't bothered killing the killers of Junaid and Nisar, but you're only killing Muslim criminals. He is saying that this is entirely communally tinted.
So would you say that Dubey, who was also killed in an encounter, Dubey is a very, very common Brahmin last name. So is he now also a Muslim? So perhaps they should do the research in history before coloring culprits in colors of caste and creed and religion. And that, if anything, is politicization. Mm-hmm. You want to talk about caste, you want to talk about creed, you want to talk about religion. Why don't you go ask the families of Umesh Pal? Why don't you go ask the families of the gunmen that were killed, brutally killed on the 24th of February? I can tell you one of them was my constituents. One of them was from Raebareli. You want to go ask their mother how she feels about how this is being colored in political light or in light of caste, creed, and religion. Okay. So perhaps before politicizing it yourself, you should ask, like, who are you?
Namaste, Jai Hind and Puttand Nalvarthagal. I have to say that because I am in Chennai and in conversation with somebody with whom I've been waiting for a long time to sit down and have a chat. Gurumurthy sir, namaskaram.
Namaskaram.
Thank you for your time.
I'm happy you are in my office.
And I'm happy to be in Tamil Nadu and also at the occasion of a festive occasion across the country. Let's start from there. If our festivals are similar, Gurumurthy sir, and on the same day across various parts of the country they are celebrated, so does this idea of a nation, is this not something which has been handed down to us over centuries? Or is it only the RSS that thinks of us as a Hindu Rashtra?
You see, most people do not know if there is any geography in the whole world which has been defined as to its borders, and the inhabitants are defined as to what they are. It is India. You take any Purana, there are 18 Puranas. In 7, Bharatavarsha is defined, 7 or 8. In Brahmanda Purana, it says that in the north it is Himalayas, in the south it is the 3 seas, in the west it is Devanas, in the east it is Kiranas. The nation in between is called Bharatavarsha, and the people inhabiting this land are called Bharatiyas, and they believe in karma and rebirth. So India is not a new idea. India has been a self-renewing proposition.
Correct.
In fact, I would like someone to read the history and culture of Pakistan in Pakistan government website, which is not allowed to be downloaded here. I have read it, I have downloaded. It talks about Takshaka as their forefathers, Takshashila University, where Kautilya taught, where Chandragupta Maurya read, where Ashoka was a student.